Worlds are being created, and your world is being expanded, and all that is better off because you sifted through contrast and came to clarity of what you preferred. Now, the question that this seminar wants to help you ask and then help you answer is, now that this newly defined desire has been emanated from you, and now that source is on it, in other words, it has become part of what we have been calling your vibrational escrow. Let's give it even a better name. Let's call it your vibrational reality. Now, some of you say, oh, vibrational, who cares about vibrational reality? I can't spend it. I can't sleep with it. What's all this business about vibrational reality? And we say, it should get your attention because everything that you know that is physical, every manifested physical knock-on-wood thing, every single bit of it is vibration before it manifests. And so it's the beginning of that which will become your life experience. And the distance between your giving birth to the idea of it and you living it fully is all up to you. The distance in time between the idea of something you want and its full manifestation only has to do with the vibrational variance between your vibrational reality and what you're doing in your physical human body with your thoughts, words, and actions all day, every day. In other words, when you are living the contrast of not enough money, you're launching rockets of desires and friends. Oh, you should see the vibrational escrow that you have amassed. You have been asking, and it has been given, and it's being held there for you, waiting for your vibrational affinity to what you've asked for. So the question is, now that you've asked, what are you doing about it? You've asked, but in so many cases, you're beating the drum of, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough. The source within you is saying, it's all over here, it's all over here, it's all over here, it's all over here. You say, where is my stuff? Where is my stuff? Where is my stuff? Where is my stuff? The source within you is saying, it's all over here, it's all over here, it's all over here. As you insist on not being able to see it, and why can't you see it? Because it hasn't manifested. What a flimsy excuse. I can't see it. It's not in my bank account yet. It hasn't come into my life yet. I'm still living in the old one, driving the old one. I'm feeling insecurity. We say, you have to find some way of shifting your story to what's over here and stop telling the story of where you stand. Because the story you tell, the thoughts you think, the words you speak, the conversations you have, the online chat rooms you go to, the online chat groups you join, when you blog, when you spend your time telling the story, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I've never had enough, I've never had enough, I've never had enough, I've never had enough, what's going to happen, I feel insecure, that rich bugger over there's got more than his fair share, that rich bugger over there's got more than, probably deals drugs. As you beat the drum, and in the beating of the drum, you feel the feeling of not enoughness. You feel insecurity. You feel fear or anger. As you beat the drum of not enough, you're not a vibrational match to what's already been accumulated for you. Oh, we want so much for you to understand the way worlds are created and the way manifestations come about. We want you, by the time you leave this room today, to feel this vibrational vortex of attraction that is being amassed on your behalf. You put it there, piece by piece by piece, and what a beautiful picture of life experience it is. And the larger part of you, far and away the larger part of you, the non-physical, eternal, always alive, eternal, forever, non-physical energy part of you is there already being everything that you have asked for. And here's something that you really must know. Law of attraction is responding to that. So what that means is there is a vortex of attraction going on your behalf. The money's being drawn in, the people are being drawn in, the circumstances and events are being drawn in. Everything necessary for the completion of this picture that you set forth day by day, thought by thought, contrasting experience by contrasting experience. You've been building this escrow. You've been amending it and amending it and amending it and amending it. And it is a point of attraction, that law of attraction is summoning all necessary components. And you know what? Usually the only missing component to this story is you. Because you're over here beating the drum of, where is it? I don't see it. I don't have enough of it. When you hold yourself as a vibrational difference to what you have already vibrationally created, you don't see the evidence of it because you're not in the vibrational vicinity of it. You can't set your radio dial on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 98.7 FM. The frequencies have to match up. So when your vibration is different from what you have been asking for, you don't let it in. Or even better said, you don't let yourself in where all of it is. So you zig and zag. Circumstances and events are being lined up, orchestrated for you, as all things are moving about in order to give you, through the path of least resistance, everything that you've been asking for. But most of you have a big wad of resistance. You've got a path of most resistance going on. You don't have a path of least resistance. You don't have a path of most allowing going on when you tell the story of how hard it's been, or you wonder why it's hard for you and easy for someone else. You've got to tell the story, and begin it today, that matches what's in your vibrational reality. And you can tell when your story begins to improve, because you begin to feel better. So let's say you have lived life as you have, and you've mixed it up a lot on a lot of topics with a lot of people, and you've given birth to a massive vibrational reality. And the source within you is basking in the perfection of what you and your life have created. And by the way, some of it was there before you even got into this body. You set it forth from your non-physical vantage point before you got here. It's beautiful, and it is expanded because of the life that you've lived. So here is this magnificent escrow, this vibrational reality brewing and summoning to it all things necessary for the perfection of what you've been asking for. Personalities, attitudes, circumstances, events, material objects, piles of money, all kinds of things that you've been asking for there, vibrationally. So here you are, and let's say, just for sake of example, that you've been worried about it for a long, long time, whatever it is, and you are in an attitude of despair. You just feel defeated. You just feel like you just can't get there. Well, it's still brewing, and it's still amassing, and it gets bigger every day. And an interesting thing is, the more despair you feel, the more you ask. And the more you ask, the more it becomes. And the more it becomes, and the more you don't go, the worse you feel. Isn't that interesting? The things that cause you to become the most are usually the things you use as your excuse not to go. That's why when that friend, you don't call him a friend anymore, but when that friend gave you so much trouble, that friend caused you to expand and expand and expand and expand. But when you keep beating the drum of that same old story of defensiveness and feeling bad, when you beat that drum of that same old story, what happens is you hold yourself apart from the ever expansion that this friend is helping you to accomplish. And then you're extra, extra mad at that friend. Funny thing. What you really could say accurately is, hey, you creepy person. You and all the trouble you gave me made me grow. And now, because you still are creepy, I don't go to where I've grown to. And it's your fault. It'd be so much better if you'd be bad and cause me to grow and then be good so I could accept my growth. A very conditional love, isn't it? When you ask those outside of you to do the changing so that you can feel better. But if you would accept the expansion that the contrast has provided you, and once you've expanded, let go of that stuff and talk about where you're going and why you want to go there. Now you can quickly become a vibrational match to the expanded you. And friends, that's when, and that's only when, you allow yourself to be who you really are. If you're not feeling good, you're but a shadow of who you are. If you're frustrated or worried or fearful, if you're beating the drum of worrying about things going wrong, in the moment that you're doing that, you're not letting yourself be who you really are. Oh, you're launching more rockets of desire. We call that step one. The sifting through the contrast, the experience of contrast, is the launching of the asking, step one. And you can't stop doing that. You'll do that eternally. And you, out here on the leading edge, are doing an extra amount of that because your contrast is greater here. You knew it would be. It's why you came. You wanted the contrast for the purpose of the expansion. Step two, not your work. Step two is where Source, those like us, wrap around what you've asked for and give it our undivided attention. You know how a healer can focus upon your wellness rather than your illness and then influence your wellness? Well, that's what Source Energy does. Source Energy focuses upon the vibrational escrow, the vibrational reality, and becomes it fully. And as Source Energy focuses upon it and becomes it fully, then you have step three to do. And step three is what this gathering is all about. It is your deliberate understanding that law of attraction is responding to both vibrational aspects of you. Law of attraction is responding to who you really are in a big way. And law of attraction is responding to who you're being right now with the words you're speaking, with the thoughts you're thinking, with the things you're doing. That's what negative emotion is. Negative emotion is you striking a thought that is different from the thought that Source Energy is thinking on your behalf. The larger part of you loves. When you don't, you feel awful. The larger part of you is security. When you're not, you feel awful. The larger part of you looks for reasons to feel good, speaks only of positive things, looks for positive aspects, gets on rampages of appreciation, knows the well-being of your time-space reality and beyond. And when you don't, you set up a tug of war within you that is only the equivalent of contradicted energy. It's like tearing yourself apart from who you are. When you love, you're in sync with who you really are. When you are frisky, when you feel good, when you have that feeling of elation, when you feel interested in something, those are feelings of alignment or connection, or our favorite word about it, allowing. Allowing yourself in your physical human form, creative genius that you are, to be a vibrational match to the source within you. And when you are, now hear what that means. So, you have a picture of this vortex swirling around. You have a picture of law of attraction gathering all components necessary for anything, everything, anything and everything, big, little, small, all the things that you've been asking for has been assimilated and is swirling in this vortex, waiting for the only missing component, which might be you. So if you're feeling despair, you're nowhere near the vortex. And even though opportunities are shining all over the place, people are coming into place, you can't see them. You're looking over there at that other guy that's already manifested them and complaining that you don't have them, even though they're all queued up for you. And in your despair, in your hatred, in your anger, you're so far away vibrationally from this vortex that you can't even get a whiff of it. You can't get a hint of it. Things aren't working out for you at all. You feel lost. You're out there on the raw and ragged edge. It feels like you're all alone. But let's say you're reaching for thoughts that feel better. We'll talk about that a lot today. And you manage to bring yourself into a place of frustration. You're no longer fearful. You're no longer hateful. You're no longer revengeful. You're just frustrated. The things aren't better for you. Now, you're in closer proximity to your vibrational escrow. Now, you might get a glimpse every now and again of something that is working for you. And when you do, a little ray of hope shines within you. And when you feel hopeful, do you know what that means? When you feel hopeful, you're close to the vortex. When you feel hopeful, all kinds of things can reach and pull you in. All kinds of things can bring you closer to the vibrational vicinity of this cortex, this vortex, this core of perfect creation. And when you move just past hope into just a tiny little bit of belief, whoosh, you're in the vortex. When you get in the vortex, when you cross that line from hope to belief, Now, things are turning up all over the place to you. You're saying, where have you been? It seems so easy. Now you're here. I wonder why I ever worried about you. And once you move from hope into belief and hang around there in the vortex, in that attitude of belief, you will begin to feel invincible.